Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the realities of the new Eform 4 system. As always, there are links down in that description where you can support what I do here on the channel. The number one way that you can do that right now is by checking out that first link. It will bring you to the Firearm Freedom merchandise store. You can pick up some pretty awesome t-shirts. I'm very excited about these, and stay tuned because I have 3 new t-shirt designs that are going to be dropping in a matter of days. One of them is a pretty awesome hello and welcome shirt that I know you guys are going to love. I also have a new sticker dropping. If you guys want to make sure this content is not being hidden from you here on YouTube, the best way that I know how to do that is by interacting with these videos. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the like button, comment down below this video. All of that stuff should make sure these videos continue to show up in your subscription feed. The realities of the Eform 4 system. Now, this is hopefully going to be a video that is going to help a lot of people out and go against some of the misinformation that is just flooding the industry right now and just continues to come out every single week. It just seems to almost be getting worse. As always, when I'm talking about an NFA related topic, you guys know the deal by now of my feelings on the NFA as a whole. I just made a video about SBRs and pistols. I've done a bunch of live streams about NFA stuff. I'm not going to get down into this rabbit hole. If you want to hear my opinions on the NFA, go check out those videos just before you comment down below this video saying that I'm for the NFA or something because I'm making a video about it. Again, just get educated first before you comment about what you believe my opinions are. Around December of 2021, the ATF opened up their new Eform 4 system. What does that mean? Essentially, what it means is that you can now go into a shop, and the normal process that you would do to buy a suppressor in a lot of shops was to fill out paper Form 4s. The shop would compile those and then send them off in the mail, and turnaround times can be long at times and then also shorter at times. It just kind of goes ups and downs. And instead of doing that process, the shop can now facilitate everything electronically. We were very familiar with that in this industry with Eform 1s, which is the process to manufacture your own NFA item. And the Eform 1s were going incredibly quickly. Now, there is somewhat of a catch to this system, and that is Silencer Shop. Now, I have no affiliations with Silencer Shop, and quite frankly, although I'll be as politically correct as I can be, I don't think Silencer Shop is going to be too happy with me after this video and the comments that I'm going to make. Silencer Shop before allowed you to kind of submit everything pseudo-electronically. So you would go to a shop with their kiosk, you would put in your information, and Silencer Shop on their end would essentially act like a third party, compile your information together, and send it out in the mail for you. They were not submitting it electronically to the ATF. There was a lot of marketing going about the Eform 4 process. Now, at the gun shop that I work at, we are kind of a shop that specializes in suppressors. That is kind of our bread and butter, so I can't even begin to count with you guys how many Form 4 transactions I do for suppressor purchases every week. It's absolutely insane, and I am very, very familiar with the Eform 4 process at this point, unfortunately. The ATF made a statement a while back before they opened up Eform 4s talking about projected approval times, what their goals for approval times were. One of those goals was in the future. We don't know when that future is going to be. We want these times to get down to 90 days. A lot of suppressor companies, including Silencer Shop and many others, would utilize that over the next few months as marketing propaganda saying 90-day suppressor approval times, guaranteed 90-day suppressor approval times. You guys have to understand that the suppressor market as a whole is constantly on the brink of death, quite frankly. It goes ups and downs and ups and downs. And there's a lot of times where all of a sudden people just aren't buying suppressors. They don't want to go through the process. They don't want to pay the $200 tax stamp. So I find that when something like this happens where they could potentially use it as a marketing advantage, the suppressor industry as a whole does it a lot, and it's just the reality of the situation. Now I want to talk about the truth of eForm 4s with what we're actually seeing right now. I still hear companies today, now we are looking at almost a year later, companies are still saying 90-day approval times. Is that the case? Have we ever seen 90-day approval times? I myself and another employee submitted 2 Form 4s as guinea pigs the first hour that the Form 4 system opened up electronically. So you would assume that those would be the fastest that they are going to get to it. And they actually did not get to those until 77 days, I think it was, on mine, and 80 days on my other coworkers. And that was the fastest time that we had ever recorded. Now that was submitted the first day of opening, and that was almost at 90 days. So that's already not looking good. Now, as we progress further past that, it started to get to 90, 95, and it has been steadily increasing in time ever since. And now we are seeing approval times north of 6 months. It is getting close to 7 months, and it's showing no signs whatsoever of that time decreasing at all. So any company that is pitching to you right now that you can get this suppressor in a 90-day approval time is just flat out lying. It's just the cold hard truth of the matter. And it is very frustrating to see on my end because I still have people coming into a gun shop saying, hey, I've heard that we can get suppressors in 90 days. That's not the case. You will not be getting the suppressor in 90 days, and quite frankly, a lot of these companies are claiming they're still getting 90-day approval times, and that to me is just a flat-out lie. Like I said, guys, we do a metric ton of Form 4 transactions, and I am still not seeing anywhere near below 6 months. So the biggest downfall of the eForm 4 system, aside from the fact that we even have to do this system or do this process as a whole, is the sheer number of disapprovals that I have been seeing. Notice I did not say denials, I said disapprovals. With this new eForm 4 process, if you compare it to paper Form 4s, so just doing the regular paperwork, if you made a mistake, a small clerical error on that form. Let's say my birth date was, I'll give you my actual birth date, 12/22, right? Let's say my birth date was 12/22, and on the form I messed up and I put 12/21 by accident. Maybe I fat-fingered the pen a little bit, if you will, and I made that mistake. The ATF before would have sent the forms back to the gun shop and say, hey, everything is looking good, but we need you to correct this date. We would correct the date, we'd put it in the mail back to them, they would stamp the approval, send it right back, and you're good to go. No harm, no foul. Now, on the eForm 4s, there is no corrections. If you make a single mistake, a single clerical error, even of the smallest amount, the forms will be kicked back after the entire waiting process, and the only option is to resubmit. And that's the frustrating part. We have had, the amount of disapprovals that we have seen compared to paper is insane. And this number goes up even higher when you're looking at submissions with trusts. When you're looking at submitting an eForm 4 on a trust, you still have to handwrite, just like the Form 1s, your RPQs, or Responsible Party Questionnaires. When you're handwriting those, there's even more room for error, because now if something is not written in, you're not getting the red warning indicator that you are getting on the eForm 4 website. So I have seen a significant amount of trusts get sent back on disapprovals because of missing pages in the trust, or because of something being spelled incorrectly, or because of a spot being missed. And I got news for you guys. No matter how good both parties are at checking, the gun shop and the customer, there will always be a small minor clerical error that eventually slips through. And on eForm 4s, that is now devastating, because instead of somebody waiting 90 days and having to resubmit, you're having somebody wait almost 7 months and having to resubmit all over again for an additional 7 months. I can tell you guys that it is going to quickly get to a point where paper Form 4s are probably going to turn out to be the preferred method of submission. And the reason why I say that is because paper Form 4s right now are horrendously long. They're 13 or 14 months, but an eForm 4 could take even longer if you end up getting it sent back on a disapproval. Mind you, it takes them a significant amount of time to even reimburse you the $200. Sometimes that can take a few weeks, sometimes that can take a few months. So now you're waiting to get reimbursed, you're paying an additional tax stamp, and it may even get sent back again if there is something wrong. I've seen 2 disapprovals in a row. 2 disapprovals in a row, and them having to submit a third time. It is outrageous. This process, quite frankly, is made even worse. And this is not, I get it. Silencer Shop is making a profit. They're making a business, and I understand. I'm not trying to just crap all over Silencer Shop. There's a lot of stuff that they do right. This is something that's very frustrating to me, though, and it's been frustrating to other customers. I've seen it on their end. When you are now doing an eForm 4 with Silencer Shop, it doesn't make any sense. I got news for you guys. It just doesn't make sense, because now you have an additional third party that is getting involved with an already crappy computer system, and now you have to rely on Silencer Shop's computer system to also be working at the same time. So essentially, at a shop that submits it directly to the ATF, there is no middleman. The customer comes in, they fill out their information, they sign their section, and they simply submit it to the ATF. When you do this via Silencer Shop, that process is the same, except Silencer Shop has to phone in and essentially take command of the computer, and they open up the ATF software that all of a sudden the gun shop logs into and the customer logs into, but Silencer Shop puts in their information. So you guys can see here why there's so many moving parts, and it becomes a big problem on an already frustrating system. On top of that, many times a customer has to leave the shop and come back multiple days later just to sign the form and put in their 4-digit PIN. So I think Silencer Shop is going to have a hell of a time trying to continue this in the future. Now, I fully understand that in some areas of the country where there are not many gun shops, and if there is a gun shop, they may not even know what a freaking suppressor is, let alone how to facilitate the transfer. Silencer Shop is going to be your only option. I completely understand that. If you have the option at all at any other shop to even submit it on paper, I would much rather do it that way than deal with the eForm 4 process through the Silencer Shop program. That's the cold hard truth, and you guys know that's always what you're going to get on this channel, and I'm sick of people going through just total headaches on an already frustrating process and making it even worse. I hope this clarified some things with eForm 4. What you guys are going to see is eForm 4 times continue to rise and paper Form 4 times continue to decrease, because now not a lot of people are filing paper, and it is going to get to a point where paper is going to go faster than eForm 4s. So take that for what you will. It's a crappy process, and we will see how it goes in the near future. If you guys have any other questions about this process or what we talked about in this video or anything else on the channel, you guys know the deal. Please throw them down below in the comment section, and I will answer every single one of you. While you're down there, head up to that description and check out those links where you can support the channel. And as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.